Welcome back to Zone 5 Studio. My name is Abha and I am a home gardener in Zone 5 of Brampton, Ontario, Canada. I love sharing my gardening experience and helpful tips to help my fellow gardeners thrive in the short 3 months of summer season here in Zone 5. I am going to start a new series where I'm not going to share just my experience. I am trying to bring fellow gardeners together and we all will share our experiences and our gardens. So this year, to begin with, I am going to start with Petunia care tips. All my friends and relatives keep asking me, what do I do to care for my petunia plants? As you can see in the background, this year I have just planted one plant in each planter and you can see the flowering. It's just one single plant because I was away this year and I have started my garden almost around June end. Usually I used to plant the full row of petunias in my front garden, but this year there are just few plants. But those few plants are also thriving and I'm not doing anything special. I'm not even putting any fertilizers in them. Initially, I just added leaf compost and some vermicompost and that's it. So let's begin without wasting any time to give you the shortest tips how you can take care of your petunia plants. So let's Petunias are vibrant, easy to care for annuals that thrive in full sun and well drained soil. Regular watering, occasional fertilization, and deadheading spent blooms will ensure a continuous display of colorful flowers throughout the growing season. Now, what makes petunias more, like plants is because of the colors and easy growing. Now, when it comes to easy growing, we need a well drained soil. That is crucial to prevent root rot. Amend heavy clay soils with organic matter like compost to improve drainage. For container gardening, use a potting mix designed for good drainage. Or you can also use a mix of leaf compost or dried leaves along with the fluffy soil. Now, watering. Watering regularly, especially during the hot weather, is essential, but avoid overwatering. Ensure the soil is moist but not soggy. Container grown petunias may need daily watering. Sunlight. Petunias need at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight to bloom at their best. While they can tolerate some shade, too much will result in fewer flowers and leggy growth. Now we talk about deadheading and pruning. That is the most important part. Regularly removing the spent blooms or deadheading to encourage more flowers is quite essential for this plant. This prevents the plant from putting energy into seed production instead of new blooms. For trailing varieties that become leggy, a light trim can also help rejuvenate the plant. Pruning in the midsummer or late summer, you can also prune back the leggy or overgrown plants to promote bushier growth and more blooms. Cut back to 1/3 of the original size and you will see that the plant is blooming again. Look at this small pot of mine. It has just single plant, and mind it, all my plants have single plants of petunia in the pots. And this plant, especially this planter, it has sweet potato growing in it with this and some portulaca. And still look at the blooms. The blooms are doing their best. Now we talk about why, how and why we should be deadheading. Deadheading the correct way is quite essential for this plant. Most of the people are not doing it the correct way. They just hold the flower head and pull it away. That is not the correct way. This is not the correct way. So, this way you are just leaving the seed pod into the stem and which will make the plant feel like that, okay, my time is over, now I have to generate the seed pods. The correct way of doing it, to remove it from the stem, you have to cut the flower, or you have to pinch it from the bottom of the flower head with the stem. You cannot leave the seed pod. If you leave the seed pod, the plant is going to encourage. And make sure the pruner or the scissors that you are using is completely cleaned. If you are pinching it with your hands, do it like this as I have shown in the video. That is the correct way. If you leave the pod in there, that is not sending the right message to the plant, and it will stop flowering and just produce seed pods. Mind it, if you are doing it with your hands, it's a sticky plant. The flower pods and the flower stems are little sticky, so you might get irritated when you do it with your hand. So my suggestion would be that you use a pruner or a pair of scissors to do that. However, if you are doing it with hands too, just make sure you are doing it properly. It has to be the correct way. You cannot just pull it, and don't pull it too hard, otherwise you're going to dig out the plant out of the planter. So deadheading is the most important part that encourages the plant to produce more and more flowers every time. I do it every morning. After I water my plants, and do it on a well watered plant, because if the plant is leggy or it's limping, then you're gonna damage the plant itself. The plant has to be perfectly plump and erect when you do the deadheading. That's another important point. So that is it. Now we talk about the pests and diseases of this plant. Though this plant is not very much prone to any pest kind of thing, but they are relatively I mean to say that they're relatively pest and disease free, but occasional issues like aphids or slugs and flea beetles can occur. Just monitor the plant regularly and address the issues promptly. What I do is I just use the neem oil spray, and more than neem oil spray, I just make a chili garlic enzyme that I use. I completely do organic gardening in my garden, even for the flowers. But yeah, you can choose neem oil. Neem oil is also organic. Here in Canada, we don't get neem oil. It's banned in here. So I have to order it from US or some other places. Usually I spray my garlic and chili garlic enzyme on my plants regularly. Now it comes to the winter care. Here in Zone 5, petunias cannot be alive. They cannot tolerate or survive in winters. They are treated as annuals here in Zone 5. However, in warmer climates, they may survive the winter and can be pruned back in the fall to encourage the new growth in the spring. Just like when it comes to hard pruning, just keep the plant or prune the plant 1/3 of their size. Just leave the 1/3 part and then prune the rest, and it will bloom back in spring. Now tell me about these pots that I have used as my vertical garden. I have created these from waste material. If you like them, comment below and I'll create a new video for it. So see, this was not a very difficult task. All you need to do is continuous pinching and of course proper watering, timely watering. Do not let your planters completely dry, especially for the petunias. Some plants, some flowering plants like marigold, they do not like too much watering, and roses, they do not like too much watering, but petunias, all the seasonal plants mostly like proper continuous watering. They shouldn't be soggy, but there should be always a constant moisture maintained in the plants. And the second most important thing is pinching. Pinching or pruning. Pinching or pruning means, as I showed you, it means continuous growth, new branches. New branches means new leaves and new buds, and that means new flowers, more flowers. So continue doing that and do share your results. And most important thing, if you have so far not subscribed to my channel, do subscribe. because in the coming weeks, I am going to share all the beautiful tips from my fellow gardeners. I'm going to showcase their gardens and we all will have fun together. So do not forget to subscribe and do like, follow, and share. Bye bye.